bring more out of this.
It'll be a Zoom meeting, right? With us sitting next to each other in the Zoom camera.
Okay, so if you guys are joining us right now, you probably, oh my God, did I miss anything? Because those two amazing women are just chatting right now. Allison Van Wyk, Julie Newman. Well, you didn't miss anything. We're just about to start, so thank you for joining us. 2:30 p.m. sharp Pacific time. We are live over here on our KW Shares group. And here with us today, we have Powerhouse ladies. Allison Van Wyk, she's a producer out of the Keller Williams Coastal Long Beach office, in that beautiful background picture, wherever she is right now in the jungle. And we have Julie Newman out of the Calabasas office. She is at her home office, I guess, right? And Stephanie, are you on the call as well? Stephanie Alatorre?
I am here.
Hey, Stephanie. Thanks for joining. She's also going to help to moderate and ask a few questions. So the reason we're doing this virtual class about virtual listing appointments, number one is, people have been toying with the idea or by necessity or what have you. Now there's no other option, pretty much, right? So we've been forced, certain way to say that, to practice our business in that manner. And the two of you, pretty much jump right on the wagon. And you know what? I mean, it's not about how to figure out how to do it is, or what's the best way to do it is, let's just make it happen. And, I know that you two and some other people out there as well got multiple listings virtually. And we just want to have this fun discussion and share what is it that you do that works well for you, and share some insights. And I know that we have viewers that are going to ask some questions. We have a lot of people watching, by the way, so it's going to be a fun session. So whoever want to start, go for it, and give us a little bit of background about you as well. So the person who's right now, any capacity of business, whatever it is, and whatever length of time in the industry, going to say, oh, she's been doing it for so many years. Well, not virtually. So go for it.
So, yes, I've been doing it a long time, 30 years, but again, not virtually. Remember the Thomas Guide? That's what we started with. So, fortunately, I embrace technology. I love technology. And so about 4 or 5 years ago, I did start switching to try to get a lot of things online, because I want, my goal when I have time is to kind of go after out of area sellers. And to do that, the stronger your listing presentation is online, the better off you're going to be. So I've been telling the team, kind of prepare for this. And now we're here, and it's like, well, at least we have some stuff, but we're not as prepared as we wish we were. But we're a lot better prepared than most. So
I think, go ahead. I was going to say, just to add my side, I am not into, I should be better at technology. I've got to really, really be twisted in turn to adapt to the technology. I do it because we have to, but it's not a comfort zone for me. Change is not comfortable. So adapting to technology is just a must. Like, we must have a car, we must go virtual at this point, but it doesn't come comfortable to me. So I'm almost probably the opposite of you.
Yes, but today's a good lesson for me, because I kind of thought the webinar was Thursday, so I got a little mixed up. I'm out in my vacation home. I have no laptop. I have my iPad, and I'm like, you're going to be fine. Let's learn how to do this. So, yeah, it's going to be okay. But the more prepared you are online with some of your tools, the better it's going to be to work with out-of-state sellers. So it's not just during this pandemic. It's afterwards. Anytime you go after those out-of-state sellers, you're going to want something like this.
And I love the fact that you said that, because it's important to understand, and that once we're going to go back to the normal, it's going to be a new normal, not just a normal. Nothing's going to go back to be exactly the same. And I think the in a very like specific way, I'm excited about the new normal. Number one, it's because it's going to go back to once again to normal life, right? Into more opportunities, but also this is the time right now to take advantage of things that we haven't done before and do things better. And look at two of you, between the two of you is I mean, years of experience. And you didn't say, oh, not for me, or I'm giving up, or whatever. You said, like, I'm going to jump in and just take advantage right away and do it. And Julie, how many listings you got the last, I don't know, let's say 2 weeks?
I have about 5 listings this last 2 weeks.
Okay. And Allison?
1 listing, and we have 4 coming up that we're working on. Our
Good.
challenge right now is actually getting someone to do like the hauling, and Salvation Army kind of stuff, because a lot of them will not come to the house and pick up.
Right.
Yeah,
But
one of the listings that I did take was 100% I was never at the property, never met the people. It was a soft introduction, and we went 100% live via Zoom. That was an exciting day. Very exciting day. But I did it, and I followed up with the DocuSign. I think adapting to DocuSign was a big change for us back in the day. It's the same type of thing. You have to do it. It's the new way.
And the more you embrace it and the faster you embrace it, the easier it's going to be for you. Because if you just like you mentioned DocuSign, people that didn't embrace that now look at the challenge that they're under. It's just too much all at once. So embrace it as it comes in and use this time to get better and better, so that we're just more prepared to work with out of area sellers. So Julie,
Yeah.
do you want to kind of do an introduction as far as like what you would show them first, or you want to go?
Well, I mean, I'll give one, I guess, broad example of what did work. So it kind of covers all questions that will probably be asked. I did have a referral. I called the people first. I explained that we were going to do a Zoom meeting because we have to do social distancing, and we've been asked not to do any face-to-face meetings. I wanted to check and see if they were open with it. I got permission if I can bring the person who referred me to them onto the call, just to make it a little bit lighter, just to kind of engage them in a different way, to get everybody's permission. And I kind of walked them through what I was going to do, that we were going to send them an email, and the email will have a link that they can call me on the phone. I'll walk them through it. They're going to click the email or the Zoom link in the email, and that we would all join together and we would start the whole process. I think, go through the formal listing presentation process with a contract and the CMA presentation. I have dual monitors, so you could either use dual monitors with the shared screen. You pick 2, or you just pick one shared screen and you just drag the tab back and forth so you can go over it with them. And
I think dual monitors is a really good idea. I actually have triple monitors at home office, and at the office, and I got those from Amazon, and they're like, for a reconditioned one, you can get one for $50. Saves time and really gives, you don't have to be clicking on each panel. You can just go from screen to screen. Really saves some time. And one of the, I think, challenges is keeping that client so that they're not disappearing from you. They get bored easily if we listen to too many statistics. So you got to keep moving around to keep them entertained.
Well, I do, like this particular client was a husband and wife. So, of course, one of them logged on and everything was fine. And while you're getting everybody logged on and you're chit-chatting, you're building rapport, you're talking with them, you do get a read on their energy. You do get a read on the personality type. That whole DISC thing comes into effect. If they're fiddling around. So in this one particular one that I'm referencing, when they started fiddling around and they had one of them was holding a baby and the dog's running around the house, then I just ask them to go onto the other link on their phone and start a walkthrough in the house so that we can see the condition compared to the comparables. So it was just an easy transition and shift over to, okay, let's go to the next step. We're going to go and view the house, walk through the house. I want to see how your house compares to the comps that are in the CMA, the presentation. And it shifted the energy. So now everybody was moving around the house. So you brought their attention back.
If I was a seller, show me, like, I believe we were talking earlier, and we both used Cloud CMA. Mm-hmm. And we both like that because it has interior pictures. So we were finding that when you show them that interior pictures, it helps them know why you're saying, okay, your kitchen's a little older than this one down the street that's brand new.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to show us a screen share? Do you have a screen share of that Cloud CMA open, or what do you have open right now?
I do. Okay. How do I add this in here? Can you see this, Meny?
Not yet, no.
Go back to your screen share.
Okay. All right. So can you see that?
You need to click on the share screen first, Julie.
All right. Told you, not good. Not good with all this.
That's okay.
Well, you're doing it.
There you go. Can you see this? All right.
Yes. Yes. Now we can see your PDF file.
Okay. So I'm just going to go really quick through this, just so we can get through the meeting. I basically have an open letter, basically just kind of testing their, I don't know, temperature in this market, whether they're okay with FaceTime, WhatsApp, how they want to, if they want showings in their house. It's just introducing the methods of what's happening. I put a letter together thanking them for and appreciating the opportunity. And then we have a little bit of custom CMA put together for the marketing presentation. There's a contact sheet for me and how to get a hold of me. There's a bio about my history. I have client testimonials. Is this too fast?
No,
resume. It's a resume about me, my accomplishments, my college, and all that. And then we have the introduction to our concierge services. A lot of people in this market right now, they don't want to put the cash out. So we have
one thing just to add, by the way, if you're struggling to get reliable resources, once again, if you're struggling to get reliable resources of whatever you can imagine, reach out to because of the circumstances, reach out to the concierge and see if they have any of those guys available, because they're working with multiple, vendors out there.
Right.
So go ahead.
So I just offer this because people are afraid to spend money right now, and this is an option. This is also a tool I use to see how serious they are about selling. If they're not serious about selling, I'm not going to have them, use a concierge service and then try and take the property off the market. That's not going to work. So I just go over, the before and after so they could see the difference. I explain that it does bring value. The value we lose might be the value they make up in the staging or some of the repair work. I go over that we do photography, that we don't do social media. This is kind of like a standard template in a lot of the CMAs that are out there. So, and we go over the drone. I go over our umbrella company, Forward Living. And then, you get down through here. This is your standard CMA that spits out when you go through the cloud CMA. And it just, you go through the comps. You pick what you pick. I put my solds first, then I do the pendings, then I do the actives. I try to put them in order by price. Then you just go through, the analysis of all the breakdowns and comparisons, bedrooms, baths, square footage, that kind of thing. And then when we get to this point, they're interested because this is the part they wanted to see. They want to see how their house compares to other houses in the area that are sold. So, we spend a little bit of time through these areas. Of course, we want to dial in on the closed. And so by this time, they're intrigued. They're looking at it. They're seeing how it compares. And then I'm still building rapport with them. And then right now is kind of like when you can gauge whether they're still wanting to stay on the comps, or if, the kid needs to be let down, the dog's running around, somebody's bored listening to my voice. And then you transition into, I want to take a look at your house virtually. So you got to kind of transition into, okay, let's take a walk through your house, because I need to see what it is also. I need to see how it compares to these, because I haven't seen the house.
And I think that's the hardest part, because that's where the client, you need to probably send them an email before so that they have different choices, saying, hey, I'd like to do a walk around on your home. They can do video of it and send it to you if you want. But the walk around, you can use Google Duo, Skype. Just decide what you're comfortable with. Like, I have an Android, so if they have an Android, a lot of times a Google Duo is really good.
Or FaceTime. FaceTime's a big one too.
The iPads or the iPhones. So kind of feel what is best, depending on whether they have an Android phone or an iPhone, before you actually do the consultation, so that when you're talking to them, you can say, okay, let's do a walkthrough of your home now. And then we kind of talk. Once we do that walkthrough, I'll say, go back to the kitchen, okay, and then do we have central air? When was the last time you did the plumbing? Really pay attention to the floor plan, because I feel that that's going to, here in Long Beach, we have some really old floor plans. So sometimes we have walk-through bedrooms. That can detract from your price, and we want the consumer to know why that detracts from the price. So kitchens, bathrooms, walk-through bedrooms, backyards, especially right now, backyards that have a lot of ambience are going to sell better, because people are trapped in their homes. So just for having a nice backyard, you might get 10,000 more. So that's really, really important.
I find also when you're doing the walkthrough, do you notice that by seeing the condition of the house, you can kind of suggest things. You could suggest whether they're going to stage it. You could suggest when are you going to have it tidied up and cleaned, because we're going to have a photographer come over. You know, we have to be aware that we're doing social distancing, that we don't want them touching anything, moving anything. So while you're doing your typical presentation and it's virtual, you have to have these conversations to kind of get them prepared. And for the newer agents that are on here, it's the time to start asking for the business. Or you have to talk like you have the listing. Like, when are we going to have the photographer? When will the housekeeper come by to tidy up? When can I, send over the boxes to help you tidy and declutter?
Right.
So,
let's go to the living room, and why don't we try the sofa on the other wall? Because I think that would make a big difference. Can you move it and then maybe send me another shot when you have it? I think the photographer is going to be happier, and that's going to open up the room more. So you can virtually stage a home just by talking to them on the phone. You could have your stager, which is a nice idea, give them a call, Google Duo or whatever, and she can see a video of their home and give them some quick tips to move some furniture around or open some windows, etc., to really let a lot of light in.
And then I'd go over some of the same questions. Do you have central heating and air? Do you have solar? Do you have an alarm? So you have to kind of have a punch list together, so you make sure you hit all these points. And as soon as they start talking, they'll share all the details of the house, and you just better have a pen and pencil, start writing.
Yeah, they want to share those updates. And then, so I usually will ask them for pictures before, do the video with them, try to get a list of improvements so that I can kind of say, when I'm going through the CMA, I can say, now this house on Walnut is very similar to your house, but we have this and this, and they don't. So you can they kind of get an idea where the pricing should be, because when you screen share, they're looking at those interior shots of the pictures. And then I've got something that I usually share with a client, and I do a couple things. I do the cloud CMA, And that's similar to what you do, Julie. And then I also do, okay, I'm sharing my screen now. I also do the Dash CMA, which was very interesting because I was doing a webinar with her the other day, and she said
Karen,
to me,
yeah.
she said, wow, you know, Meny, you get it for free. That is really a nice CMA as well because it's different than Cloud CMA, but it has links in it that are like show where the market was 3 months ago and where it is today. And so I think the more information you can give them, the better off you're going to be. So I did a webinar on that last week, and I've started incorporating that as well. And then I've got a book that, now we made this on Flip Builder, so you can use any PDF. So Julie can use her Cloud CMA if she wanted to and turn it into a book. And so I just kind of
Wait, Allison, I think we lost you. Hey, Julie, can
Allison?
Yeah, hold on. Allison, you can see your screen, but we cannot hear you anymore. So I'm not sure if you, hold on, let me try to take her screen
So do
back.
these pages flip in the presentation like a movie?
Yes, they are. And okay, I took her. Can you see me right now? Just to make sure that we're
Yes.
okay. Yeah.
Oh, you've got bunny ears.
It's Easter Monday. Come on, Julie, don't you know that? Anyways, hopefully we're gonna get Allison back. I mean, she's Allison, whenever you're ready to jump back
Well,
in.
does like Stephanie have questions? Or do you
Stephanie
have
has a lot of questions.
Yeah, some of the questions that I wrote down, some questions, but you guys really have been doing such a great job addressing all of them. So, gosh,
There she is.
Is she coming back? Oh, there she is. But yeah, I guess one of the questions, are you getting any pushback from your clients or prospects to do things this way? Or are they just like, okay, let's jump on, let's get it handled?
I was hesitant to engage him on even asking. I just basically told him this is how we have to do it. I really want to teach myself how to do it this way because I do think it is going to be a new option for us. So I didn't give him an option. I just told him, look, I can't come to your house. We're not supposed to be doing that. I want to be safe. I want to keep your kids safe. I'm going to send you a Zoom. And I mean, it's kind of just a little bit of confidence and take charge in how you set up the expectations when you start out. It's also
and when this is done, we're also going to have clients that are like, well, can't we just do a Zoom presentation tonight when the kids are in bed?
Absolutely.
They're going to want that. It's going to be another service that's going to be added. So learn it now so that you can move forward in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I'm trying to be a little bit more confident in this is how we have to do it. There's no choice. It sets the tone and the expectation of your service with the client too. I mean, who wants to deal with an agent who's wishy-washy or willy-nilly and kind of lets everybody else run the show? I mean, you want somebody who's going to take charge. This is a trying time, and sellers need help. The sellers that are out there that have to sell need somebody that's going to direct them, guide them, show them, and hold their hand through it. I mean,
and the market is still good. It's like we have less inventory right now. I'm listing one tomorrow. Did the same thing, did the presentation online. Then we had the photographer go over there and virtual walkthrough. But one thing, they're a little bit nervous, but they have to move. It's a job relocation. And two others in the same complex came up this week. And I'm like, okay, if things aren't selling, now there's three in the building. I thought I was going to be the only one. So things are selling, and they're selling pretty good because there's low inventory. Just last week, like in 7 days, 57 things came off the market in Long Beach and Lakewood. So, yeah, things are selling.
Yeah, I'm having my sellers that put everything on hold calling me. They're ready to go. They don't want to wait anymore.
Mm-hmm. So
what happened?
I'm just going to share a screen real quick of a tour. I've been using these websites. Can you guys see that website? Can you?
4505? That's the street address, isn't it? Did we lose her again?
Yes. Could you see my screen?
No.
Yeah, it only says screen broadcast.
Click the blue side, the darker blue.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's all right. At least you can hear me. What I wanted to do was show one of the websites, and what I'm doing is virtual tours on everything now, so that when buyers call, I'm basically addressing the seller's concerns of people walking through their home, that they have seen this 360 tour, they've seen a virtual walkthrough in the pictures, they've submitted a pre-approval letter and proof of funds. So these people are serious buyers.
Yep. So going back to ending the whole presentation, when you get towards the end and you've built a little rapport, you start talking about the pricing, and then in close, people calling. Towards the end, you just wrap up with recap everything that you're going to do as far as schedules for photos or day the housekeeper's coming, and you go over all those little items and pretty much kind of seal the deal. And then you just ask them if you can send over the DocuSign. And then you just tell them, I will send you everything that we went over, the contract, the CMA, the presentation, answer any of their questions, and then you just send them the DocuSign to sign, correct?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
If you address most of their concerns, like all of the stuff that we went over, explain to them how their house is going to be showing, that it's virtually an open house every day. It's less people walking through their home. The people are serious buyers that are walking through, and we are taking precautions when they do walk through. It's like you've addressed all their concerns. They're going to be fine with it.
Right. And I'm not doing any showings as well, unless it's completely 100% vacant. But on this particular house, they do have family there. So I probably will have them step out, have a Matterport person go over there, with boots and gloves and mask, have him go in there, do a virtual tour, have him do the Matterport, have him do as many photos as he can without touching anything. And then he'll exit the house and they'll spray or wipe down what they need to. But he's, my photographers all know that they're not to touch anything. And then from there, we just put everything online. Everything goes virtual. So nobody's really ever in the house.
Yeah. And it's like, when people do want to see it, I try to do tours that are staggered. So maybe we'll show it on Wednesday at 6. And again, no children in the showing. One person, 6 feet away, has masks, booties, and gloves on, and they're told not to touch anything. And then maybe a showing on Sunday. So you limit the exposure in the home. Everybody's got protective gear on, and then spray with Lysol, wipe down with your Clorox wipes, whatever. But I really feel that, it's like an open house. 30% of the people that come to an open house, or if not less, are qualified. So when you get the calls for the house and you ask for a pre-approval, you're going to get less and less buyers, but they're more and more serious. So it works really well.
Yeah. The qualifying questions have to be heavier.
Right. And then something that we brought up today, we had an office meeting with the team this morning, is make sure you have current pre-approval. So if they send that pre-approval over, and say it's from April 1st. I want to talk to that lender before I let them in the house, and I want a pre-approval that's dated April 13th or 14th, because no more jumbo loans hardly with 10% down. That's all changing. FHA is going to require a higher FICO score. So people that qualified a month and a half ago may not qualify now. Or
Right.
maybe they don't have the same job security that they had 3 weeks ago. So maybe their lender is going to say, no, you need to wait 2 months. We don't want to be showing the house if that's the case. So make sure that's an up-to-date pre-approval.
I got a couple of calls too after qualifying them, and they're clever and, oh, well, we might pay all cash. Then I tell them I'm going to send over a buyer's representation form for them to sign. You can weed them out that way as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And then you could still ask for proof of funds too. So if they're going all cash, they've got to have those proof of funds. It's not coming from another house they're going to sell. Because right now it's like, no, I'm not doing a contingency sale on something that hasn't even been put on the market. Let's talk about your home first and get that on the market, and then we'll talk about this home.
Right. Yeah, so it sounds similar. But I mean, I really do think it could be a new way, coronavirus or not. I think that this could be really helpful for all of us in the industry to speed up time, for convenience, for our clients. I mean, I still like to interact and see them, and it's driving me crazy. I can't hug all my people, but I think we'll get through it.
Maybe all of the agents that are watching this today are going to be the best agents without a area of sellers.
Yeah. And I mean, even follow-ups, and you think about like down the road when you have to follow up with your sellers and you could just do this all day from the desk and still engage them and give them an update. I think it's a great tool. I mean, ask Meny. I fought this. I was like, this is going to be over in 2 weeks. I don't have to do this. And now I think it's fascinating. It really is. I mean, as much as like DocuSign became fascinating. I love DocuSign. I think the technology really is what it is. It's a tool. It's a tool to make us all better. I mean, what better place to be than with Keller Williams, with us teaching us all this stuff and Meny pushing us.
Yeah, and I think we're at an advantage with the concierge service, because even if you don't use them fully, you can still utilize some of the services.
Yeah. Okay. We can't hear you, Meny. We can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Meny?
Here, hold on.
I don't think.
He's coming back on, guys.
Okay.
Stephanie, did you have questions?
I am. I'm unmuted. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Stephanie?
Meny's talking through the phone.
Okay.
Speaker, Stephanie.
Can you guys hear him? Go ahead.
Yes, put me on speaker. It's all good. So here's a question for you. Okay, can you hear me fine, Allison, Julie?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So my question is, one thing that you mentioned earlier, which I think is phenomenal, was the language that you use in your presentation. And I'll explain what I mean by saying that. First of all, it seems like nothing that you do yet is new, meaning you're using a listing presentation and it could be the same presentation that you used before, and it's still you, still your face, still same DRE number, etc. My point is that you only adjusted, and I'm saying it so people out there would understand, you simply adjusted the form of communication overnight instead of face-to-face, so virtual. And that's number one. Fact number two, you keep emphasizing your self-confidence, which, first of all, I want to commend you for the self-confidence because it makes you very successful. But it's the self-confidence, meaning it's not about if I can do it, it's I'm doing it. And number 3 is the language we use, which is pretty much, is right now, it's in the current, it's like happening right now. Is, okay, so, for example, so when we're going to come to your house, such and such and such. And once we're going to do this, whatever. So it's not like, maybe if in the future, it's already happening. And I want people to understand that, back 20 years, 30 years back, right, nothing really changed. We're still using the same skill set. Now, with technology, thank God, I mean, think if this epidemic would have happened, 30 years back, right, before the 90s, before internet or whatever, that could be even a bigger disaster. So you stepped up your game overnight and said, hey, I'm not going to stop doing what I do there. I'm going to do it, just adjust it, right?
Yeah, it's like when this all started happening, I'm like, oh no, I need a Premier Zoom account because it's like I want to make sure that I can share a screen easily, get on with the clients, and it's like we started having our Zoom meetings just with our little team right away, and it's like, okay, now you set up one because it's like it's important that everybody knows how to use Zoom and knows how to do a listing presentation using it or a buyer's consultation.
But I also think, Allison, you and I are people person. I mean, we want to help people. This is our contribution. This is how we give to the world and what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We come from a place of contribution. How can I help? I'm here to help. And if you can't reach people, you got to figure out a way to reach them. I mean,
right.
if this is how we have to reach them, this is how we're going to reach them. Real estate is just the vehicle for us to do what we do, which is connect,
right.
help, bring people together, schedule things, fix things, solve things. And this is our skill set. This is how we do it. So, I mean, we're going to figure out a way to do it, whether it's through the computer or in person. I mean, it's just like Meny's saying. I mean, you engage it and you go.
Mm-hmm.
This is our job. This is what we do. This is what our passion.
Now we do have extra time. We should all be honing our skills. So make the best listing presentation you can. Make the best buyer's consultation you can. And it's like stick to regular hours. Even though, I went out to the desert and I was like, no, I'm going to stay here for the day. It's like I got up this morning, I did my walk, and then I sat down with my iPads and I started working. And I think you have to have those regular work hours.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go from that. Because then you're going to not, what you produce now, even if it's just talking to people, is what you're going to have in 3 months.
Well, even for us in our office, we have the command, and in the design center, we were able to use the command design feature to customize the art pieces inside of the CMA. We were able to put our personalized logos on it. I mean, our templates, you have the same templates, I think. I mean, there's like 35 templates in there where you can pull and switch and alter and fix and design anything. I mean, it's covered. Anything you can imagine is covered. So, I mean,
nice.
It would be 85 pages long if we used all of it. But, yeah, I mean, my team and I have been spending the last 2 or 3 weeks just fine-tuning all the little detailed pages that we think are important for today's platform, but not to overwhelm them either. Because ultimately, I don't know, would you say that pretty much 85% of your listing appointments, you don't even touch any of that stuff? It's just engaging the people, right. Telling them you're there to help them,
right?
And they like you. That's why they're calling you, and you're there to do what you do.
But I imagine, like, yeah, people get bored. They get distracted easily. You're going to show me a presentation, and I'll be like, yeah, whatever. Oh, the baby's crying over here. But the fact is, you have a presentation that already makes you more professional than the agent that just called me on the phone and is trying to get the listing.
Yeah.
Or that Zoom in is just talking to me and isn't showing me anything. The fact
it's
that
just a backup.
means that you worked means that you'll probably work selling my home.
Correct.
So having tools is important, even if you don't use them.
Right. Yeah, I'm saying you have to have it, of course.
Right.
I mean, it is professional. It is the way to do it. That's the proper way. Personalizing it is great if you have those skills, but ultimately, it comes from within. They're there because they're calling you. They're there because they like you. They connect with you. They want you. Even if you're up against 2 or 3 other agents, you're still one of their picks in that group. Somebody wants you there. So you just have to go through the motions. We just have to do it virtually now.
I usually do a net sheet for them too, and I'll have that, a screenshot of that, and so I can go over the numbers with them online as well.
And one thing that I also want to add, nobody really understand or know how, when this whole thing is going to go away. And, we experienced all over the world the first wave of the COVID-19. And, not to be a downer when it's like that, but are we going to have a second wave, third wave? I mean, I don't know. My point is, think about this. Think about the next 2 to 6 months that you still have to be very cautious to come in contact with. And on the other side, buyers and sellers, are they going to be as cautious as they are today because it's in order or by just preference, right? I mean, me personally, I plan not to go to any bars or restaurants until the end of June. No social gatherings or whatever it is, because just to be safe. Also because I do come across with those people. I don't want to be the carrier, if you may, right? That's not cool. So my point is, you condition yourself right now to do those virtual meetings because, not even planning to, but once again, what if, 3 to 6 months from now, we're still going to have to do it virtually, so you won't struggle to adjust your, and both of you have massive business, right? So my point is that wherever you're out there watching, if you're new to the business, if you've been doing this for a long time, if you didn't get a listing appointment yet, so just initiate something, do it. Don't be afraid to ask for the appointment because it's easier today than ever before because people are not out and about. They're just they're in and about. I don't know if it's a phrase. They're staying in and they're at home all day doing whatever. There's nothing more refreshing than their professional calling them and offering resources and showing them something that they, out different than Netflix or Disney Channel, right? What else, ladies?
The other thing I did a couple of times is I called on FaceTime one of my clients, and we did the Avid virtually. Like I put the Avid up on the screen so he can see what I'm referencing on the computer, and then he had me on FaceTime and would walk around the house and show me the things that I need to see so we could fill it out. And it was a nice way to interact with my client, my seller, so that I could just see him and talk with him and check in on him, see how he's doing. They joke around and we walk through the house. But that was another way to use it, to go through documentation and explaining it so we could see each other and then talk about the forms.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea.
Another one of my sellers had questions about the TDS. So he's showing me, what do I fill out here? What do I fill out here?
I think it's really opened up so many more opportunities. It's like we said, we always have to look at the silver lining of everything that's happening. And for those of you that are embracing this change and effectuating it is huge, and it will come back to you tenfold. So it's really important to, I know you were kicking and screaming, Julie, but you did an amazing job, and you were just forced to do it and embracing it wholeheartedly. And it will, like I said, it will come back tenfold for all of you that are implementing this into your business.
I find more and more agents, and I had great conversations out there with our agents or agents who are looking to join our company because who we are and what we do for our people in such times and what kind of resources we have. I find that a lot of people right now playing catch up. They never had database. Now they have time to build their database. They never had a CRM. Now they're using a CRM. They never had time to do work on their social media accounts or whatever. Now they do it. That's fantastic because it is the best time. Because people out there, once again, they're on the phone mostly and iPads and laptops and looking at stuff. So there's right now the best time. This little window of opportunity for you to catch up with being not to become totally virtual because look what happened to the virtual companies, the iBuyer gone, and all the similar companies or whatever. They'll come back at one point for sure. But my point is that we still need you, we still need us, the agent, right? We're just using the technology to make us better agents, not to replace us.
It's
like,
along together.
Really, that's overnight. Once again, they reinvented themselves in the form of their communication with people versus to say, oh my God, I've been doing this for 30 years. Now I'm doomed. I cannot meet people. Yes, I can.
And Meny, I'm very grateful that you hold these meetings every day and push us to learn this stuff. I mean, we have meetings every morning. We have 3 or 4 meetings all day long, whether it's through command or through our office. Even with I was on one this morning with the Beverly Hills manager. All these things that you're supplying to us are just amazing information. I mean, they make us feel a little bit more grounded and capable. And, I mean, we all have to embrace some of these things. And it's so helpful to go on these Zoom calls and be able to interact like this. I mean, I know Allison, but now I just love Allison. We're all kind of doing the same thing and we're just trying to cope and get through and learn and expand. And, we don't want to be left behind. And you've given us a huge platform to make sure that doesn't happen to any of us.
Right. It's like, let's embrace it and move forward. Let's not sulk about it. We can't change it. This is what we have to work with right now. So let's move forward and work with this. And I really feel that all of the classes and webinars, it's like, if you're busy sulking over here, get off, go to the webinars and start doing stuff.
Yeah, but there's a lot of agents that aren't with Keller Williams, that aren't with our collection, that don't have this. It's like sink or swim right now. If they don't have this.
I feel that if you're not with a company that is supporting you and moving you forward, it's really about moving forward, learning, keeping positive, and you can't change it. So let's work through it. So give us the tools to work through it. If they're not giving you the tools to work through it, then why are you paying what you're paying?
Right. Well, also the mindset stuff that we have, the pivot stuff that we have, it's all wonderful. It really is.
They're doing Bold online, and Tim's taking it, and it's never been so cheap. I think it's $99, something like that. The office pays you back, and I'm like, you cannot not take this because it's motivating. It gets you doing the stuff you should do, and it's like one day. It's so easy. Why not do it? It's so cheap. It's great.
It's all good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and thank you as well for sharing that insight because it's back to my point. You've been doing this for. I just want to make sure you can hear me fine because I'm talking to a different speaker.
We can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Again, you've been doing it for years. Reading, you're still learning new things. So whoever's out there, never take anything for granted because look at us right now. Things that less than a month ago, March 13th, we do things, it's still unclear, right? So always tune in and always share and always learn. And one thing about what you said, Julie, is, we should also be a source of information for other people. It doesn't matter right now which company they're with, and if you can share. If they should be part of our organization because they see the value, because we think they're a good added value to our teams, absolutely yes. Spread the love, share the information, because at the end of the day, all of us in this together. It's not just our issue, their issue. It's like worldwide. Anything, last few things that you guys want to share, Allison, Drew?
I'm good. I'm having a hard time hearing.
Stephanie, is there questions?
I don't see any questions in the chat.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any questions or any questions on
Meny's in.
on the Facebook.
Yeah, and Stephanie, I guess people can barely hear you on Facebook over there, so I'm sorry about the quality because my mic over here on the call. So if you can just repeat, Stephanie, whoever's watching, please repeat that. First of all, thank you, Julie. Thank you, Allison, for your wisdom and your experience and your time. Number one. Number two is make sure everybody going to be tuned to our class tomorrow at 3 p.m. We have amazing class with special guests. And Wednesday, 10 a.m., our team meeting, I have special guest, Dr. Lawrence Yoon. Dr. Yoon is the NAR economist, and he's an expert, and he's going to join our team meeting on Wednesday. He's going to show a lot of wisdom for the first 30 minutes. So please make sure to join the broadcast on Wednesday at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you all. Yeah, so tomorrow at 3 p.m. we have a live broadcast, Survival Guide for Parents, and then 10 a.m., like Meny said, is the team meeting on Wednesday, which is, chock full of great information, and especially our guest speaker, Dr. Yun from NAR, so the chief economist. So it'll be amazing. Allison and Julie, you guys were absolutely tremendous. I can't tell you, just big thank yous to you guys, and love how you just were totally transparent and thinking and sharing all your wisdom and embracing this technological change. So we're grateful for both of you and grateful to everybody that was on the call, and thank you for sharing and being invested in your career.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Bye.